This video is sponsored by Keen. Keen is a network where psychics and spiritual advisors can offer their services, and they currently have a killer discount for new users, 10 minutes for only $1.99. I gave Keen a try, and I was pleasantly surprised. I had a one-on-one experience with a live psychic through the phone. However, there is a live chat option as well. There are no surprise charges or hidden fees, and they have a 100% satisfaction guarantee. This offer is perfect for those of you who are on the fence about getting your first psychic reading, or for those of you that need 24-hour support. Plus, once you sign up, Keen will send you weekly reading discounts. Don't worry about taking business away from me. I do get a commission for new signups, so it's a win-win. Get this offer by going to trykeen.com/snowcitytarot or by clicking my link in the pinned comment. Hi there, this is Snow City Tarot, and I'm here with a pick a card reading. Today's topic is going to be important messages from your guides. Now, before I get into this, I just want to give a quick announcement that some of you know that I've been affiliated with Keen, the Keen Psychic Network, and I was actually invited on to be an advisor for Keen. So I actually agreed to that. So I have a new option for you. I'm still going to have my Etsy shop up and running. However, if you want live one-on-one, a live one-on-one experience with me, you can actually get me on my Keen. And there is a $1.99 deal going on where you get 10 minutes for just $1.99, and then from there you can decide whether you want to go forward with that, or if you're just like, okay, I had enough, I can go. So it's very open. So if you wanted a pretty good deal, I have the link down in my description box. It'll say get 10 minutes for $1.99. You can click that and then sign up for that, and then with my link below, you can actually just click on that and schedule a call with me. So if you're interested in that, you can just hit that in the description box. For those of you that want to do my Etsy shop readings, you can still do that. I will probably post in my community spot, my office hours, I'm going to call them, so then you can have a one-on-one with me live. I just got to decide when I can actually do that. Right now I'm sort of sporadically on there. I'm sort of just well, yeah, I'll give it a shot today. I'll do it today. But I haven't actually decided how much time I can dedicate to it. But I'm going to try to figure that out. But anyway, feel free to go and check that out. Anyway, I want to thank all my new subscribers and my commenters. I do appreciate your support. So I've got 4 piles today. This is going to be pile 1, pile 2, pile 3, and pile 4. We've got black onyx, we got amethyst, labradorite, and hematite. So take a deep breath. Ask your guides what important message do they have out there for you, and pick one of the piles. And when you're finished, I'm going to start with group 1. Hi, group 1. This is for those of you that have picked this hematite stone. This is your reading. So, what do we have here? So we're going to start with the area that this message is going to concern. And I have that as the 3rd house to start with. So, whatever they are referring to at this moment is 3rd house matters. So this can be communications, your ideas, your thinking. It can sometimes be your mind and your memories as well. This is also short distances, like short travel. Now, some people say 3rd house is local area, and that 9th house is foreign. But I've been told that 3rd house is actually anywhere in your country, and then 9th house is usually overseas, or, in several different countries away or something like that. It's a greater distance. So 3rd house can also mean, matters say you live in New York State and you want to drive to Nebraska. This would be a 3rd house issue. So that sort of thing here. Let's see, what else? So I do also have here the sun. So it seems like the issue that you're encountering might be an ego difference, maybe a difference of opinion, direction, perhaps, because the sun is the ego, and it's not a bad ego or anything like that. It's just simply that driving force, that factor that keeps you going. It's kind of like a bit of a piece of survival in the human mind is this ego space, this sun. So honestly, this could have something to do with leadership as well. Let me get the rest of these cards here. So the topic at hand is the King of Swords, the the Hanged Man, and then the Star. So I really feel like this is kind of a situation where, there's somebody who's a troublemaker here, this King of Swords. This person could be an Aquarius. They could be very, very just rigid in their thinking. They're very analytical. They can also be kind of like a harsh critic too, in my opinion. Like, they may have a very particular way they like to do things, a very particular way they like to live. They might be very harsh as far as criticism goes. And, you and them are obviously not going to be not seeing eye to eye with the Hanged Man here, because we see, the Hanged Man, when he's upright, is usually saying that, there's some mulling over to do, some decisions that have to be made. And when he's flipped reverse, or in a situation where you can see a reversal, it's talking about finally seeing eye to eye on something. And the Star is something, though, that's personal to you. So I feel like this is probably something that is personal to you. It's something that's upsetting to you, because you may have this very idealistic view of something going on in your life, and you really probably don't even want this person's opinion, but maybe they're giving it to you. For some of you, I'm kind of picturing like you might have to what's the word? You might have to work together on this with this person, and maybe you're not very much of a, I don't want to say you're not a team player, but like maybe you're not totally keen on working with them. We'll just say that. Let's see here. I also got the Whip, the Letter, and then the Clouds. So yes, again, this was just to confirm what the problem is exactly here. And it looks like there is an argument here, but it also looks like it's not a clear communication. Like there's a misunderstanding here between the two of you, and they don't really. You may not be aware that it's a misunderstanding, to be honest. You may be judging them based on the King of Swords energy that they're in, or just their nature in general. So it's like if they say something, you're just reading between the lines and going, oh, well, I know exactly what they meant, So it's creating this little bit of disharmony between the two of you. Let's see. What is the miscommunication about? Let's see if I can get any more details here. Miscommunication. What is... Oh, hey there. I got a bunch of flippers. But... Let's see here. So what is the miscommunication about for Group 1 and the King of Swords? Queen of Pentacles. So it could be about like a mom, a mother, how you're raising your kids, how you're tending to your house. Any more? I'll take that. For some of you, it could actually be the travel narrative here. But I don't think that that's necessarily the case here. It did come out, so I am feeling that it has come out of reversal, so I am feeling that there could be like a disconnect here between the two of you. I feel like this could also be your values and your interest and your focus as well. That may be kind of being criticized. From your perspective, you may feel like it's being criticized. Maybe it's your work ethic too. So I'm just getting a lot of criticism from this here. That's just kind of like what I'm feeling is the problem here. And you might not be very good at taking criticism, perhaps. Any more details of what's going on? How is this making Group 1 feel, really? How is this making Group 1 feel? Well, I feel like it's kind of pissing you off. But it's also demotivating you. It might be ruining your morale. Yeah. Ruining your morale. So yeah, this person's critical nature is kind of digging into you, and you may not actually understand why they're doing it, or you may be misunderstanding what they mean by it, but it's obviously getting under your skin and is making you angry with the Ace of Swords as well. Let me take some charms here before I get into the rest of it. Let's see here. Can we get... Now, this is kind of where it gets specific for you guys. So one of these charms may make sense. Maybe none of them make sense. Just be aware, okay? Let me just get my my book here because I think it's easier for me to do this with a book. Okay, ready? Any more details about pile one's situation? Okay. Oh, we got Aquarius again. And then we also got this air energy here. For some of you, I'm wondering if some of this has to do with, let me pop this up here. I'm wondering if some of this might have to do with, science or, education or something like that. King of Swords is a pretty analytical person. So maybe this is something that's going on at school. For some of you though, this is my house charm here. It's not a heart really. It's got a house on it, but I think this may be some kind of criticism against your home or the way that you keep it up. For some of you, this one's kind of weird because this is like games, it's baseball and baseball bat. Like that could literally be coming up as a topic here that might be relevant. For others, this could just be saying this feels like this person is kind of playing with you, playing a game with you, or like maybe that you feel like they're saying things they don't need to say. They could be saying things that are like just like there's no reason behind it. They're just saying things to get under your skin. That's another thing. And then with the flamingo, we've got communities here. So this person could be part of a community that's important to you. This person could also be part of your family, since we do have two symbols here regarding family. But it does look like, this could be somebody who could be criticizing, the way you live your life, the way that you do, your private time too. They may be making assumptions about what you do in private too. Any more? Any more, please? Watermelon. Aries, stubborn person, of course. Sheep, crown. Now this, like I said, these scenarios are all going to be different. Sometimes they'll probably apply to all of you, or all of them will apply, but only a few might. But so I got a few more details here. So we got the ring, the crown, the sheep, the watermelon, and then the ram. I feel like for some of you though, you might be getting a lot of like crap from your family maybe about your home life, your marriage perhaps, if that's something, or lack of marriage. If you guys are not married, maybe this is someone who is just kind of like bugging you, getting under your skin regarding that topic, because we have the watermelon too, and watermelon has lots of seeds. So honestly, these guys here all look like somebody is trying to bug the crap out of you regarding, home or family, the topic of those things, how you keep it up, whether or not you're good at taking care of your home, whether you're good at taking care of your family. Are you taking care of your children? They could be arguing with you as to whether or not they're going to be getting grandchildren. So they're kind of hounding you. And especially with this crown here, I'm also kind of getting like a succession vibe, like lineage, that sort of thing. But whatever the case is, they're being quite stubborn, or you're being quite stubborn, because they're criticizing you. They're putting you down. So from your perspective, it's pretty offensive. So I can understand that you'd be having this issue for sure. Like that you'd be upset with it. So what do your guides really want you to know about this? What do your guides want you to know about this, group one? Okay. Sometimes this can mean that you're missing the message. Again, that's kind of the vibe that I was getting, that you're missing the message. You might be taking what they're saying too literally, or or you're not able to. They may be very bad at communication too. Like we do have the King of Swords, but there's a possibility that this is somebody that could have a mouth that runs away with them. This could be the King of Swords and his bad energy. So the way I see it is, they're telling you that you may want to kind of reassess and maybe give up some part of the fight here, because I I got the phrase, this isn't the hill to die on. So for some of you, this might be a fight that's not really worth having. It's more of a fight out of the spite of in spite of something, or a fight for just to be right. So it's not necessarily important to have this argument or have this exchange. It may just serve to make everybody anxious, ruin ties, ruin, peace at home, that sort of thing. But I'm seeing a missed message here with the Two of Pentacles, because it can talk about so many things coming in and out. So this person may be like coming at you with, and this is a problem, that's a problem, this is a problem, and you're doing this wrong, and blah, blah, blah. And I think that if that's the way they normally are, you're kind of like judging what they're saying at this moment in time based on their history, basically. So like, you kind of feel like you're under attack here. And I feel like the Hierophant is this like dogmatic, like you have to do it my way. But it's also saying that you may want to reconsider that maybe this message isn't necessarily what they're intending. It's what's coming through, but it may not be what they're intending to come across as. So your advice from your guides is acceptance. It says, I am learning to accept the things that I cannot change. We have relate. Try to see another side to this. Teamwork, and learn to communicate better. So obviously there is some kind of call for you to compromise in this way. This is something that you could probably solve together. It's something that maybe some of their advice is actually kind of helpful in this case. Like it might be good advice actually, even though they're presenting it in a really crappy way. This could be saying that this is advice that maybe you should follow. Now, this acceptance card is kind of interesting. I'm learning to accept the things that I cannot change. I mean, for some of you, you might be in a situation that is just not movable. It's not going to happen. So this may be saying that this person, if you want somebody to change, they might be saying this person isn't going to. This is the way they are. If the situation is immovable, then maybe this whole conversation is pointless, perhaps. Like this whole dialogue, this whole scenario is pointless because the situation can't be moved in either direction. So it's sort of like maybe saying like, what's the point? But for a lot of you, I think it's saying that compromise is the best. Can we clarify the acceptance card as advice? Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. Accept that the situation is not going to be moving at any point. It's not going to be changing at any point. So that's just something that you got to work with. And that might be something you have to tell this person, is just to say, listen, nothing's going to happen. At this moment, like we're stuck here. We just can't move on forward just yet. But it's definitely calling for you to compromise with this person. It's not going to be the end of the world if you do. They're not going to be immediately 100% right if you work together with them. And that's kind of what's going on here. Is you're going to, in order for this situation to resolve, whether it's a problem or I think in this case, maybe this is a problem and this person might be helping you solve this problem. But the Sun is saying you don't want your ego to get in the way, because it's not going to benefit you in any way to let it continue to just have your ego there, kind of making things difficult to make you feel better. But it's not solving the problem. It's not helping you, and it's not helping them. So that's kind of what we're saying, is you want to try to see a different perspective here. Put yourself and your interest in your immediate, personal defenses, put it behind you for just a little bit, and try to begrudgingly, I'm not saying you have to smile and be friends, but begrudgingly get along with them and work together, okay? Especially since I've got Aries energy here. and of course, fixed sign Aquarius as well. So I'm like, oh, actually, is this Aquarius? No, this is Virgo. Shoot. But this is also criticism, by the way. Virgo is the sign of criticism. So yeah, it's definitely saying that there is some stubbornness here to criticism, stubbornness to change. And it's saying, like I said, you don't have to agree with them, and you don't have to get along with them, but like try to work together. And like I said, if it makes you feel better to do it begrudgingly, go right ahead. Have a little bit of sass while you're doing it. Okay? Anyway, I want to thank you for watching Group 1. If you like this, please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. I do appreciate it. And let me know what the situation is, because I'm always curious to see what's actually coming up and what is the truth in the comments. So if you want to do that, that'd be great. Again, if you want a private reading with me, you can catch me on Etsy, or you can do the $1.99 live phone call deal with me for Keen. Those links are in the description box below. So thanks for watching. I'm going to move on to 2. Hi, Group 2. This is for those of you that got the amethyst. This is your reading. So I took some houses here for the topic that your guides would like to discuss with you, and this is the second house. So this is your values, your money, your resources. It's not just like your valuables that come in, you know, I was going to say that live inside your house. It's kind of the same thing, living inside your house. But it is your values as a person, your values of yourself. So this is actually your self-esteem as well. So there could be some kind of issue regarding your self-esteem at this moment in time. And that's kind of what they want to talk to you about. Now, we also have Pluto here. So Pluto is a bit of a tough guy. Oftentimes this can be like obsessive thoughts, obsessive activities. It's power struggles, people that are imposing on you or dumping on you their personal issues through power plays, trying to get you to do what they want, trying to force you into doing things. If you're just minding your business, these people may just be a straight up bully to you. So you might have this problem with the second house here. Somebody might be coming along and hurting your self-worth, hurting your self-esteem. Pluto does talk about difficult times, though. So this could be a very difficult time for you, very dark time for you as well. However, the flip side of Pluto is difficult times. Through difficulty, we grow, we transform, we become different, like tempered. Because everyone says, oh, it's death and transformation. But it's just, people think it's just death and endings. But it's not always death. Sometimes things don't end. Sometimes situations just kind of like sort of harden. Like, if you're building a muscle, you have to destroy the tissue for it to get stronger. So that's kind of like what I'm seeing here is bits and pieces of you are being destroyed in order to meet some kind of higher goal here. So it may be kind of a rough situation that you're in, and you may be sort of cursing the heavens like, I don't care what higher goal there is here. This is bullshit. It is happening. But you don't have to be like entertaining it or complying the whole way either. Because I think that when Pluto things happen, Pluto transits and things like that, I feel like they're gonna happen one way or another, and you are going to change regardless of it. So I don't think that you have to do like extra work. I feel like with this it's like you're getting a hard time. I feel like you get like a bit of a pass when it comes to dealing with those hard times. Like, I don't think you have to sit there and be like, I have to do my shadow work. I have to see what lesson this is. I have to blame myself. I have to blah, blah, blah. Because the more you do that, the more you think about that, it's like victim blaming after a while. You're victim blaming yourself because maybe you're like, what lesson am I supposed to learn from this suffering? Like, sometimes that's just kind of what happens. And this may be a message for some of you, but if you're blaming yourself for not transforming or immediately getting the message or learning the lesson, you're going far too hard on yourself. The best thing you can do in a situation like that is just remain in the present. Don't think about how you're supposed to solve it if it's unsolvable right now. Just relax. Just try to sit in the moment and just enjoy where you are right now. Are you safe? Yes. Are you fed? Yes. Are you okay? Yes. As long as there's no crisis in the immediate moment, I don't see you having to dig through your brain to work through this, okay? So let me pull up like a bunch of other cards here. So what's actually going on here? I just decided to ask the cards and just to kind of clarify what's happening here. And I do have the Five of Cups, Justice, and then the Ace of Cups. So like I said, I think that something difficult has happened to you. I think that it was unjust, unfair. You may feel betrayed. People say the Five of Cups is crying over spilled milk, but I feel like that is an absolute it's not it is not the only definition of Five of Cups. In this case, especially with Ace of Cups in reverse, this is grief. This is sadness. This is crying and tears, and it is justified. I do not feel like this is some kind of superficial weeping over something that doesn't matter. I think that this is true sadness, true grief. So with the second house here, we also have the possibility that you might have lost some kind of property, but it was important to you. Like this is a valuable that is sentimental to you. So there is that possibility that you've lost items that you wanted, or things that you wanted. But I think for a good amount of you, it might be sadness over a personal loss of self, like a loss of your personal self-worth. So what else do we have here? And I think that it was forcefully taken from you with the Pluto aspect here. I think it might have been forcefully taken from you, or an outside situation was just brutal to you, and you couldn't avoid it. And power. When you see this Pluto stuff, I think just power, like things happening to you, and you really don't have any control. They say Pluto's a bit of a karmic planet as well, so this could be indicating that this sort of thing might have happened. As again, like I said, happened against your will is the only way I can see that. So I asked a little bit more detail about what the heck is going on, and I'm seeing that somebody could have left your life. This is somebody that could have left. This could be you, this could be them, this could be a woman. I mean, because it's a general reading, this could be any gender, but I am seeing a person is involved. This is somebody that you really cared for, perhaps, or they maybe they cared for you. Although if they broke your heart like this, I would say that no, this is probably not someone that cares about you. This, though, with the ship, though, does indicate a distance. This person is gone now. Maybe they just kind of left you brokenhearted, didn't help put you back together, didn't reassure you, didn't do anything. So I think that could be something that you're seeing here with these themes of loss. Can I get more information? I wanted to clarify some of this. What's the justice thing? That's a big question. What's going on with justice? Queen of Swords. Again, we have justice, basically. The Queen of Swords is a Libra. Any more? What's going on with justice? Did something flip? I think it flipped and then it flipped back. Oh, wait. No, I see it. Where'd it go? Ah, okay. It is a partnership issue. Especially, because Libra is that justice and equality, but also Libra is relationships. So this could have been a relationship issue. Inequality, though, is another thing that you can see with this Two of Cups. Is this can mean inequality. And then I got Five of Cups again. I got the High Priestess, and then I got okay, so some kind of inequality put you in this state. And that is just sort of what's happening here. So this may not be a love relationship. It could be, but if not, it could also just be, a situation in which the power dynamic is not equal, or which a power dynamic is being ignored. There may be something very obvious to your situation, and people are just kind of sticking their heads in the sand. Let's see here. Maybe people are being difficult with you because maybe you're in a bad mental state, and that's where the lack of compassion is. Or the inequality is there because of a lack of compassion. Can I please get some details here? All right, so there's a lot here actually, and there's some lavender. So what do I have here that might be clarifying this situation? Now, some of these things will resonate for some of you, some of them will not. all of them could, but we'll just take a look here. So I am seeing female involvement, though. We've got the lady's shoe here. That is usually indicating a female. I see connections and contracts. I see cutting somebody out of a connection and a contract. I see emotions, high emotions with the moon. I see, of course, we've got this courageous aspect here, which is interesting. And then we also have Scorpio here. So there's that domination aspect. We have fixed signs as well. So there's a bit of relentlessness here. Fixed signs can hang on for dear life. They can endure quite a bit. Also with fixed signs, they are often things that will cause you to pause and make assessments of like how you want to maintain something, how you want to invest something. Again, there's that value, that self-worth thing, because Taurus, of course, is about values, another fixed sign. So it's talking about, some kind of investment here. And I think this is like an emotional investment or a time investment, loyalty investment, that sort of thing. We also see a friendship here, possibly. I have the umbrella charm here, kind of indicating that there's a friendship here. I also got this company. This might be somebody that comes over. Maybe you have coffee with this person pretty regularly. We have issues with value, though, for sure. And I really don't think that this is monetary. I mean, it could be for some of you, but it's difficult to say for a group. I'm seeing that somebody kind of might have cut you off. Like, they might have cut you off intentionally very quickly, and they refuse to speak to you now. That might be something. And then with this conch shell, we've got some kind of like, again, I see principles. This is religious item. So it could be something where, there's a difference. This could have been a falling out based on principles, your value systems. I see targeted. So this was like a planned thing. I see star. So this is goals as well. So maybe your goals don't align with somebody else's. But this is significant, though. This whole situation is quite significant. Excuse me, there's a very loud thing outside. I hope you guys don't hear it. Okay, it's like they're always constantly doing yard work here. But that's kind of what I'm seeing here. Contracts, issues with values, monies, religious values, perhaps. There might be question about your virtues. Maybe somebody made you feel like you're bad, or, there's something wrong with you, or that you should be ashamed of yourself. People might be imposing shame on you for some reason. Like putting it on you, like forcing you to feel the shame, because the Pluto energy is forcing, it's a forceful energy. So especially with Scorpio here, this can be some intensity being piled onto you. You're being forced to take that, and maybe you're not ready for it. Maybe you're recovering from something else too. That's another thing. So what do they want you to know about this? What do your guides want you to know about this situation? Four of Wands. Okay, 2 tens. What do they want you to know about this situation? Well, I do think that there needs to be some kind of acceptance here. I do feel like you've been ousted, you've been removed, not allowed, restricted. We have 2 tens here reversed. The 10 of swords in its reversal is indicating that if you're looking for closure, you just might not be getting it. If you're looking to be accepted back into the fold or back into the group, the relationship, right now it's still saying that you are sort of ousted or ostracized. This is lack of inclusion. This 10 of Pentacles here, this is lack of inclusion. When it's upright, you're in the family. You're getting all the perks. When you're out, you're looking at the 10 of coins reversed. So what they want you to know about this situation is that, it's going to be a while. If you're waiting for this to stabilize, You may have to set your focus to something else because this is not done yet. It's also not, is it going to ever be over? That's my question. Is this ever going to be done? Because, there's advice that comes after this, but, why isn't this over yet? Why are these reverse 10s here? Okay, yeah. It's the delayed ending for a delayed beginning. That's kind of what it says. When you have a 10 followed by an ace, that is talking about a completion, but it's simply delayed. So it will end at some point. You will have something new coming out. The Ace of Cups is coming out, and it's going to be saying that there's even going to be an emotional recovery as well. So you don't really have to be too worried about this lasting for all eternity. But right now, if you're trying to solve this and you're worrying and trying to solve the problems worrying, you're not going to really get anywhere. And if anything, and this is the other aspect of Pluto, is there's this obsessive tendency here. We also have this obsessive tendency with Scorpio, obsessively thinking. So this problem's not going to go away if you just forget about it. So you don't have to keep remembering it. That's kind of like, I'm giving you permission to stop thinking about it because the situation you don't need to hang on to it to keep track of it or manage it. And that's what a lot of people don't realize what they're doing when they're hanging on to things, especially like before bed, when you're hanging on to things in your sleep, or like before you sleep, you're thinking about a thing over and over and over again. It's kind of like because you're afraid that you're going to forget it. So the best thing you can do in this sort of situation, to not forget how you feel, to not forget what happened, just write it down. Write it down and then close it up. If you want to remember it, you can go back and remember it there. It's kind of like forcing a compartmentalization, like a literal one, where you take your stuff and you put it in that box. You put it in that book, and you just kind of like say, okay, if I want to come back to these feelings or these thoughts, I can go back to the book and read about it. But right now, it's not serving you. So you don't need to hang on to it. So, like I said, you're hanging on to it because you don't want to lose track of it. But by doing that, you're kind of just pouring salt in your wounds. So you may want to give that a shot. Let me give you some advice, though. These are from your guides here. We have the grief card. It says, I understand that losing something is an opportunity to appreciate it. That might be saying, if you have lost your self-esteem because of this situation, you may realize that you actually had very good self-esteem before. And you at least know where you can return to that, how to return to it. What was it that you were like before? You at least know what it looks like. So kind of understand that the thing that you wanted that you no longer have is still in you, and you're still able to kind of, give value to it. And at least you have, it's like you have the mental recipe for it still. It's just you have to go back and bake it, if that makes any sense. Vulnerable, be vulnerable. So this is saying if you're resisting getting help, you really should. Add structure to your life. Again, resisting getting help and finding an authority on something is saying you should kind of look towards that. And it says be okay with not knowing. That's a big thing. That's a big, big thing. Again, if you're dealing with an obsessive thought that goes round and round and round, it's because you're trying to solve a problem that is not solvable. It means that right at this moment, there's no answer for this yet. So if you're trying to see the future, you're not able to know because situation's still in the air, decisions are still being made, people are still developing to match a certain situation. Because I kind of feel like timelines go at different paces, but they do converge, but it just, some people are going to get there faster than others, so you have to wait. So it's like that sort of thing. But being okay with not knowing is a big thing as well. To be able to drop the thing that you can't solve is difficult, but you're going to have to learn to be okay with no closure for the time being. And like I said, the way that you can kind of do that is just write that down, hide it away in a book, and come back to it when you need to. The other way, of course, is to seek out somebody that you can be vulnerable with and add structure to your life. So if you're kind of swimming around in a bad thought, you need to kind of find a way to distract yourself. Distraction is a Band-Aid, yes, but it allows it to heal, right? I feel like not adding structure is like leaving an open wound to get infected. So by sitting around and ruminating in the thing, you don't want to do that because, like I said, you'll get that cut will get an infection. So you want to put a Band-Aid on it, at least for now, while it heals up. So maybe pick up a hobby. Maybe drown yourself in work. Maybe, hide away in some fantasy land. Read a book. There's a lot of things you can do for distractions. And that's kind of what they're saying right now, is to sort of cope with your grief through escapism. Just don't stay in escapism when people need you to be there for them. I think right now, though, I think you're kind of in the thick of your own grief that you kind of need to take some time away from people. But also there's the other side of that where you need to spend more time with people because they could be a great distraction. So those are some options you can play with there. So anyway, that's what I'm seeing for you, group 2. Please let me know if this resonates with you, maybe what this situation is, if you're willing to share. I want to thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. If you'd like a private reading with me, you can get me on my Etsy, or you can get me in my Keen profile. That's $1.99 for $10. Or I'm sorry, no, $1.99 for 10 minutes. If you were interested in that, you can find that link below. And I want to thank you for watching, and I'm going to move on to group 3. Hi, group 3. This is for you who picked the Labradorite. So what do we have? We've got planets. I'm sorry. I'm just reading the back of the card. We got planets. Sorry. The house is what I pulled for the topic of discussion here. What your guides want you to know is going to be regarding to the 9th house. 9th house is kind of broad, to be honest. It's very it's hard to describe because it's a lot of things. It's publishing, it's long distance foreign travel, it's faith, and it's astrology, and it is sometimes it can be like, how to describe it, like the house of God. So that's why it's kind of like faith, but it's also divination. So if you do tarot cards, if you do astrology, that's usually what it is here. This is the house that will be showing somebody going and trying to find themselves. I know a lot of people are like, oh no, divination's occult, so that should be in the 8th house, or there's different types of occult things, but this is divination using tools. So this may be something that's prominent for you. This can be your philosophies. It can also be large class action lawsuits too. It's very interesting because it's like philosophy, but it's also like the huge legal system as well. Not necessarily 7th house legal, where that's like small claims court. This is like a big thing, like a big legal thing, like an actual like Brown versus the Board of Education type of legal stuff. So let's see here. What else are we seeing? So this could be a focus in your life. This could be it's also universities. Like, it's all over the place. They're all kind of vaguely related, but it's all over the place. So this could be university. This could be learning, higher education, that sort of thing. That could be the topic that's at hand here. North Node is here as well. It's kind of saying that this is a situation that'll probably project you forward, like slingshot you forward into your future callings, the things that you're doing. It's kind of your North Node purpose, who you're supposed to be. So it's actually it's positive, but like with all these things, if you're being thrust into something, it can be kind of difficult to cope with. This can be just difficulty dealing with other people though as well. So I took these cards kind of to see what this is about. Like, what about the 9th house? So we do have Judgment, we have the 7 of Wands, we have the Queen of Swords, and then I've got Bouquet, Birds, and Lily. This is a discussion about principles and values. The Lily is literally the most 9th housey Lenormand card that you can have, because it is about your virtues. It's about your knowledge and the wisdom that you have acquired. So it's kind of interesting because what they want you to know about might be, people complimenting you about your wisdom, but also maybe somebody who might be lecturing you about your wisdom too. That's another way that you could probably see this. Judgment and the 7 of Wands and this Queen of Swords. I mean, we are possibly also looking at something that could be a legal situation. We've got Judgment, of course, making a large scale call on something that, looking at a situation and seeing are you going to reap what you sow? Did you do everything you needed to do to get the result that you wanted, or are you going to get a different result? At this point, it's sort of like that testing moment of what will they say? You're like waiting on a verdict. Seven of Wands kind of indicates that you fought hard, that you really tried hard here, and that maybe at one point you were on the verge of giving up, or maybe you're on the verge of giving up now. Maybe you're kind of like you're worried about whatever effort you're putting in. If you give up now, what's the judgment going to be? What's the verdict going to be? What's the outcome? And it's interesting that we have the 9th house here, because divination is about outcome. Judgment is talking about outcome. It's sort of an interesting tie here. The Queen of Swords is a person, so this could be you. This could be also some kind of legal advisor, somebody who's like a lawyer, or somebody who's going to communicate something to you, a teacher, somebody who has more knowledge than you, because the Queen of Swords is definitely a specialist of some kind. She could be also into science. She could be into, preaching philosophy, that sort of stuff. Especially with Queen of Swords being a Libra card, there is discussion about fairness, and a lot of times we talk about fairness, and then philosophy is also something that kind of comes into that. So this could be you trying to write a paper. This could be you trying to write a book or finish something, publish something. There's a lot going on in this here that it could be. Let me see if I can get some more details here for what they want you to know about. Can we get some more details about what this might be about, please, for group 3? Okay, for some of you, this really could be divination, because we have a playing card here. But for some of you, this could be gambles or games or risks that are being taken. Elephant, we've got the pipe. That's consideration, thinking. Philosophy, of course, comes with the pipe. Time management. We got the little white rabbit. And we also have 2 cards here discussing risk. There is a risk that you are afraid to take. Maybe you are under some kind of, maybe there's like a moralistic obligation, or maybe there's like a risk that you want to take, but maybe it might not be fair for everybody. That's the thing. You are out for victory here. You got the Warhammer. So the Warhammer is here as a sign of victory and success in your battles, and it does seem like it's been hard fought. We have the wing here. This is your thoughts again. There's a lot of stuff going on here about stepping up to the plate, getting something done, doing something for your greater good, perhaps. And maybe that's where this issue of morals might be coming in to play. Let's see what else we got. It does look like it could be a creative project here, because we have this like pen, scissors, paintbrushes cup here, and we also have the rose, and that could be very expressive as well. It could be romance based, something related to romance. Now, all these don't have to resonate with you. One might resonate, others might. This looks like this is something big. It's like a huge statement that you could be making about yourself. We have the mirror. So it's like something that you might be expressing about yourself. It could be like an autobiography. It could be, and the thing is, like, I'm seeing writing and philosophy, and I'm seeing books. And that's the thing, is 9th house is publishing as well. So maybe you're trying to write a book. That's another thing. But whatever it is, it's going to take a lot of courage. Maybe it's risky for you to tell people about your thoughts, perhaps. It's risky to tell people about your life, maybe, even if you're trying to write, like I said, an autobiography or something. But I'm seeing this elephant here. That's a pack animal. And that could be the masses. That could be a group that you're concerned about their opinion. But I think that also the elephants are kind of lucky. And we also have, look here, we also have this... what is that called? The 4-leaf clover. So I am seeing some kind of luck alongside the risk. So there could be a great reward if the risk is taken. That's kind of the message I'm getting out of this. Let me see if I can ask any more questions. What's the Queen of Swords doing here? How is she involved? Queen of Swords doing here? Seven of Swords, and then this Knight of Swords. Well, I feel like this is you. I think you're the Queen of Swords here. Man or woman, you could still be in Queen of Swords energy. You're nurturing a project. You're building a project. You're writing something. You have an idea and you're trying to birth it or trying to grow it. And with Knight of Swords, though, it's also philosophy. There's a big thing here with philosophy. So maybe some of you might be judged for your philosophy, or you're worried that you will be judged if you express yourself in this way that you want to express yourself. So this is an interesting group. I want to know what this is talking about for you. This would be good for my personal research, or my personal information, so that I can kind of see these as that corresponding, in the future. But it looks like you are stressed. You want to write about something. You want to tell people about something, communicate something about your philosophies or your religion, perhaps. Maybe people don't want that. That's tough too if you're trying to explain something to people that they don't want to learn about. And I am seeing somebody who's preaching some wisdom here. So, but there's this niceness here, trying to make it nice. Maybe that's the dilemma here, is you have things to say, but you don't know how to make it nice, perhaps. That could be a challenge, is trying to make something easier to digest. Oops, I lost a card here. King of Swords, too. That's interesting. He was left behind. So, any more details? Maybe one more card for Lenormand? Fish. Well, there's value. Yeah, this is your personal values. Personal values, or there might be some kind of finances on the line here. So, what do they want you to know about this situation? What do they want you to know about it? The Lovers. What do they want you to know about it? Group 3. What do they want you to know? What do they want you to know? Well, it's talking about community. It's talking about partnerships. It's talking about being part of a group and working together with a group. So maybe you need to get like somebody to help you, an editor maybe. It looks like this could be something you may need to get some funding. Clarify the Lovers. Editor. This is an editor. So yeah, it's something maybe to read over something, proofread something, kind of explore an idea here. Now this could still be a legal thing. This could be some kind of legal document that you need someone to look over, or you need somebody to come and look it over for you. Somebody that might know the language, that sort of thing. This can say that you're also being judged for something. This scenario could be you being judged for something that might have got you in hot water, something that you said maybe. What is the advice for you, though? We've got humor. It says, I choose to focus on the lighter side of life. Well, first of all, the thing is to lighten up. Lighten up. Don't take life so seriously. Don't take things so seriously. This isn't as bad as you think it is. Getting your point across is not the end-all, be-all in life. So if this is keeping you up at night, it's a kind of a waste of sleep, or waste of lack of sleep. This isn't something that you should be staying up for. This is definitely a work in progress, and you should totally get somebody to read it over for you, because at this point, or review this thing for you. Something needs to be reviewed. And you just need to sort of be patient with it. Be patient with yourself. Let's see. So it says, reap what you sow. Didn't I say that here? Reap what you sow. Accept that we all make mistakes. Accept not everything has meaning, and that's okay. Okay, that's interesting. I feel like this is like a philosophical thing still, because accepting that not everything has a meaning, not everything is a symbol, which is interesting because we're all talking about the ninth house here, right? Yeah. So divination, again, ninth house. What is divination? seeing the meaning in things, reading symbols and signs. If you're one of those people that is like hung up on 1111, 222, 333, 444, and you're like using that as some kind of confirmation, it might be telling you that you might want to hold back on that because you're like living your life by that as a confirmation, when really it could be just a case of you seeing what you want to see. Like you see those numbers, see all those numbers at the same time. But then how many times did you look at the clock and then it didn't show you those numbers? You kind of want to take that into account. Also, signs and synchronicities can kind of be, there's overkill with it, especially if you're new to the spiritual community and you're kind of like, oh, there's this sign, there's that sign. It must mean something. It must mean something. Oh, that's a bad sign. That's a good sign. Like, you want to chill out with that. Otherwise, you're going to give yourself anxiety. Basically, the way with that goes is, signs and synchronicities, if they have something to tell you, they will let you know. And it may not be in a clock number. It may not be in seeing one rabbit. If you're seeing like 3 rabbits crossing the road together, that's significant. If you're seeing the same thing happening multiple times, that's significant. If weird things are happening more than once a day, that's significant. So don't take it on one shot, weird things, because then, like I said, you're going to be kind of like chasing coincidences all over the place and actually not living your life because you're using these angel numbers or whatever to determine like your thoughts on things. It's not healthy. You still have to have some autonomy when it comes to divination and fortune telling. You need to still be able to live your life without the cards. Maybe you're addicted to divination somehow. That's another thing that you should just kind of take out. Because if you do that stuff, you're going to reap what you sow. You're going to wind up in hot water if you rely too heavily on these things. Accept that we all make mistakes. And maybe you already have had something kind of blow up in your face and you're kind of kicking yourself for it. And I think that this might be saying that you just accept that it's okay, you make mistakes. This can also talk about that if you're resistant to letting someone read whatever it is that you might be doing regarding these topics, you may be resistant to letting them see it because you don't want to see it. But it's saying you might need to accept that there might be a mistake on there that someone needs to catch. But that's sort of just what I'm getting here. It's a very interesting reading, group 3. I'll leave you with that. But if you're interested in a private reading, you can catch me on Etsy for $1.99. You get 10 minutes for keying, so you can use my keying link there too to sign up for that, or then you can visit me on my office hours. And I want to thank you for watching. I'm going to move on to group 4. Hi, group 4. This is for those of you that have the hematite. So, oh shoot, I gotta put the rest of my charms back in the bag. 1 second. Sorry about that. There we go. All right. So, I'm starting with a house card. This is going to tell us the topic of which your guides would like to speak on, what they would like to talk about. And so it's the 11th house here. And we also have Saturn as well. So it's interesting because we have themes of exclusion, I would say, because we have the 11th house and then we have Saturn. Saturn is kind of the limitations, the boundaries. It doesn't necessarily mean that that's exactly what this is. We can look into that a little bit more, but this can impose limits or encapsulate people, basically, like keep them penned in. So it's like the barrier is either getting out or getting in. So with the 11th house, though, this can talk about your goals, your dreams. Seeing as Saturn's here, it's possible this could be talking about your salary. It can also be talking about networks, whether that's group people networks or technical networks, systems. So this could be like IT, stuff like that. So if you work in IT, maybe this is referring to that. We also have the theme of like systems, like databases, things like that. But systems in the sense that like astrology does fall in the 11th house because it is a system. It falls into a system. So it technically, like things with rules and things with a systemic way of operating would fall into the 11th house as well. So there's this sense of like altruism, I guess, with the 11th house. So this why it's hopes and dreams. It can be hopes and dreams of your own and hopes and dreams for the future. So it's actually a very fortunate house. So, this may have something to do with something good that you're looking into or something good that you're trying to get towards. But with Saturn here, I'm seeing the limitations here. Now, this could also mean that an older person is involved, either keeping you there or like keeping you from your dreams or blocking you out of a community. This can be saying that there is somebody like that in the way. This is a very karmic relationship with this person. So if they're giving you difficulty, it's for a reason. There is betterment in it, probably. It also, of course, not every karmic situation is a learning thing either. Sometimes you just gotta live it out and then get on your way. So that could be something that we're seeing here. Now, I did take some cards here. I'm going to look at the situation, what it could be, so that we can better isolate. And we're going to ask them about what they want to know, what they want you to know about it. We got the 5 of Swords, we've got the 4 of Wands, and then the 10 of Cups, which honestly, it's interesting because we have family, we have home and family. Now, 5 of Swords is interesting because it is almost like exclusion here. 5 of Swords is somebody like, that kicks you out or makes you concede and walk away, or somebody that won't let you be part of something. And it may be for some very selfish or mean reasons. This can talk about people that also say very mean things to people. And maybe it's within a community, like an online community. Maybe you're seeing a bunch of people making mean comments or saying rude things. But for the most part, I think that if your spirit guides are bothered, see that you're bothered by this, it may not be something so simple or trivial. But I also took, where'd the rest of them go? Oh, they're in here. Yeah, when I saw this, I did want to know more about that 5 of Swords, and I got the Hermit and the Judgment card. So yeah, it looks like somebody that's being shunned or ostracized, somebody who's being not allowed to be part of something. This can also be, a situation where, because I have the Hermit here. That's why I'm getting the sense that it's something to do with being alone or loneliness. Now, this doesn't mean that anybody specifically did this to you. This could be, Saturn could be the limitations of like the law or your business or rules, just in general, just rules that are in place. So this could leave you having to make a judgment call. Basically, do you want to be alone or do you want to pursue something? Do you want the happiness or do you want to, make everybody feel comfortable? It's kind of like that. Now, I asked what, can we get more detail on it? And I got cat, and I got mountain, and then I've got, this is ring in this deck. So it looks like connecting with a friend is being cut off. There's a big giant obstacle in the way between you and a friend or you and somebody that you want to be in your life. This can also be a giant break in, not being able to create an allyship or an alignment with somebody that you want to be aligned with. So that's sort of part of this that I'm seeing here. Can I'm going to take some charms to do a little bit of a better view of this. Now, some of them may resonate, some of them may not. All of them could, or none of them could. So just be aware of that. If something comes up and you're like, I don't understand this, it's okay. It's not for you. So, any more information, please? What is that? Where'd that go? That jumped off the table. Oh. Okay. What have we got here? So, I do see some groups here already that might be involved. I got golf. So, the golf clubs here are actually very interesting. To me, you can see my bias in my golf, bias against golf when you hear my meaning for it is basically a waste of time, a way to rub shoulders, suck up to people. Basically, the golf is sort of this like super, what's the word? Not super, superficial. Yeah. Superficial sort of socializing that it's not really sincere. It's just to kind of an ends to a means. I'm seeing photographs, and this could be somebody who's looking at your photographs, reviewing your photo, reviewing your artwork. This could be you reviewing the past as well. Mistakes or successes, whichever. We have Libra, we have Scorpio, we have Virgo. That is so interesting, actually, because Virgo is the body of Astera. The scales are her, I think the scales she's holding, and then Scorpio's claws are the scales of Libra. It's kind of neat, but there's this big summer to fall transition in these signs. So I'm not sure if the summer to fall transition is relevant for you guys. We're talking like September, October, November. So around that time. I think that Virgo season can even start in August. Yeah, so it could be August through November that you were seeing something here showing up. We have the Hamsa, and we also have the fairies, kind of like divine protection, supernatural protection here. We've got the cross, so there's some kind of duty involved, some kind of duty, and I think there's maybe a need to fix it too, especially with the Virgo here, because we got the wrench. There could be a need to fix or a desire to fix something. We have not a broken heart, but a locked out heart here. With the lock, so it's somebody like blocking you away from things, not opening up to you, not letting you be in there. And another lock here. I do see like, some digging with the shovels. Trowel might be kind of good for like, yeah, here we go. We got the pruning and then trowel. I think that there's something going on. Now, there could be gardening involved too. If we notice the themes here, we have a lot of utility types of charms, so like gardening, utility stuff, handyman things might be relevant here. We see playfulness though with the pixie, and with the star we see some sort of sweetness there as well. Bouquet and the seahorse, so that could be seahorse could be fathers, fatherhood, father figures, that sort of thing. And then bouquet is, of course, sweetness, things happening that are nice, socializing. So I do think that it's kind of a mishmash here. There's a lot of different stuff going on. Starfish, though, is regeneration, too. So it's like you might be regenerating from some past memories or something that might have been traumatic for you. You might be doing some work on that, actually. And then we have the conch shell. These two together are religious in nature, so religion might be an issue. Religious groups or communities, or virtue, or the burden of doing the right thing. The burden of virtue is another thing here. So that's sort of what I'm seeing with these charms. You can let me know if any of those resonate with you guys. So that's kind of the situation, the scenario. So let me ask what they want you to know about it. What do you want group 4 to know about when it comes to this? Magician. Ace of Wands. Wow. Knight of Swords. So, these are interesting. Well, first of all, this is telling you to stand up for yourself. The Knight of Swords is not afraid to pick a fight, especially if he knows he can win it. So if you see something that's not fair, that's not just, that's not being, and you're not being treated a certain way that you want to be treated, you should step up and say something about that. You need to step up and say something about that. And this Ace of Wands and then the Magician show having the gumption to do that. The magician sees a problem, wants to fix it, and he's like, okay, I'm going to go get this done. I think I can do it. I have a solution. I have a way to do it, and I'm going to be the one to act it out. And the Ace of Wands is exactly that too. All of these cards basically talk about action here in some way. Even the magician who's sitting still is talking about willpower and brainstorming as well with the Ace of Wands. There's an idea, and then you're going to act it out. Now, maybe this isn't you acting this out. Maybe this might be somebody else. Just one moment. I've been talking all day. Excuse me. So, Can we clarify this a little bit more? King of Swords, or I'm sorry, Knight of Swords. Clarify him. Strength. Yeah, you need to assert yourself. I think that's kind of the biggest thing here. What was your advice? Did you get the assert yourself card? No, not really. Let's see. But yeah, it looks like you need to assert yourself. You need to have courage, and you need to have self-esteem, and you need to know that you have everything that it takes to deal with this. In whatever form it is, whatever the actual situation is, you have every ability to deal with this, assert yourself, go after what you want. So, you know, if this is going after your dreams, you're going after your dreams. You have that. You need that. Even if somebody's kicking you out of it and saying, no, you're not allowed here, you can go after that anyway. They're not determining what you can and can't do. No one else should determine what you can and can't do. If someone's saying that your ideas or your thoughts are not practical, they're not balanced, they're not Four of Wands, you know, buy the house, have the kids, yada, yada, and you want 10 of Cups, which is like, be a rock star, have the kids, have the house, but it's a mansion, and then like the kids are like, there's like 100 kids, you know, like it's super ambitious, there's rainbows every day, you know, like that. That's why I'm getting the feeling that for some of you, you might be getting discouraged against your happiness, or discouraged against going after what you want. And I don't think that you have to be worried about what other people think when it comes to this sort of thing. This can also talk about distance from your friendships. You know, if something's going wrong with your friendships, you can do something about that. You know, if there's something that you need to say and apologize to someone for, you can apologize for that. There's absolutely nothing wrong. The only reason why people don't want to apologize is they don't want to admit they're wrong. Why don't you want to be wrong? Because you secretly want to be perfect. That's basically the basis of that. So if you can acknowledge that you're not perfect, and you can acknowledge that you don't want to strive for that, then you can apologize, basically saying, sorry, I wanted to be the perfect person and I made wrong choices because of that desire. Because that's a desire we all have too. So people can relate to that, you know. That's a nice way that you can actually ease up tension with a situation where you feel too stubborn to apologize and you're aware of it. What else do we see? We just have all this willpower here. We've got Saturn. That is time and patience and maturity. Circle of friends. I mean, it does seem like you're not being allowed into a circle of friends, or someone's not being allowed into a circle of friends. But, can I get a clarifier for, like, what is Saturn representing here? Okay, healing from some kind of situation. Let's see. So it is exclusion. We could probably just say that much, because these people are they're refugees, so they're leaving, so they're being excluded from something. So we're gonna have to say that it's probably you being excluded, or someone you know being excluded. You could exclude other people too. It matters which part of the Five of Swords you relate to. Are you the king, or the emperor, or the pharaoh, or are you this lady down here crying? Who did you put someone in this position? So you're going to have to determine, you'll all have to determine which one of these people you are. But if you've done that, then you are facing judgment. You know, you've kicked someone out, you are facing judgment. And you're thinking about this as well. Maybe this is you contemplating the ramifications of your actions. Playing under, you know, for some of you, might be playing underhanded, you know, kind of sneaky ways of playing things. So you might have to come to terms with that. The mountain also talks about big giant things that we're avoiding. So elephant in the room, thing about a friendship that you're not talking about. So there is something that needs to be revealed here about this situation, the goals, the wishes, the aspiration, the future, and, you know, your part in it, or this person's part in it. But there's this big elephant in the room that you're not talking about, the big commitment, the big coming to Jesus, the big talking to. So that's kind of what I'm seeing with that. So yeah, but what it's saying is you have the bravery, you have the ability to do what you need to do. So if you have to apologize, it's saying it's not going to be as bad as you thought it was, so you can apologize. If you need to assert yourself because people won't apologize, you can do that as well, because you are, they're telling you that you are empowered, you are strong, you are stronger than you think you are. And Ace of Wands is here saying that you have the chutzpah to do it. You just got to take the club into your hand and beat the snot out of people. So let me give you your advice. So these are interesting cards. So adversity. So this definitely seems like it's a clashing of minds, a clashing of people. Hopes and dreams may be different, but we've got accept that challenges are the best way to learn. So you kind of need to reframe the way that this is going on. You may be falling into the victim category here, and you don't want to be the victim necessarily. It's not going to be benefiting you in any way. And in fact, it's going to disempower you. And you don't need that right now. So you also have, it's not your fault. Learn to sit still. No need to rush. So if you have to, it's funny because the Knight of Swords is coming in and he's rushing. He always thinks before he speaks, or he always speaks before he thinks. He's very, what's the word? Reactionary. And he's always out there to express what he thinks, speak his mind. So with the Strength card, you actually might be saying here that you need to hold back. If you feel like you need to say something, you need to hold back. Especially if you're someone with a history of flying off the handle and saying too much too soon, that could be something that it's telling you to take a break on. Just relax, hold back. It'll maybe the right answers will come to you, after some time of thinking. So make a new friend is interesting too, by the way. Let me see if I can, because this is interesting. Unless it's saying you go out and make new friends. If you're feeling insecure, go make new friends because you can do that. But it's also saying learn to sit still, no need to rush. You're not desperate is another thing that you can pull out of this, is that you're not desperate and you can take your time if you need to. There's no reason why you just gotta go associate yourself with whoever you want, or not even whoever you want. Just go associate yourself with whoever. They may not necessarily be good for you, and it's not your fault. So if you've been guilting yourself over something, it's maybe you shouldn't be focusing on that so much. Can we see make a new friend? Clarify this. Break free, it's not healthy. Yeah, if you're trying desperately to be part of something and it's not working and the people are not letting you in, don't bother with it. It's not going to be something that's going to benefit you in the long run. Usually if we have a lot of resistance, excuse me. Usually if we have a lot of resistance against something and it's not working out, it's usually for a reason. Let's see here. What else do we got? This is it's kind of a big topic. Think first. Oh, you're being told a lot here. To avoid something. Caution. Be careful. Think first. Avoid it like the plague. Break free. It's not healthy. Learn to sit still. No need to rush. This is going to be very specific to some of you people. Maybe I'm hoping more actually, but it's telling you to hold back. Hold your tongue. Don't act. Don't do anything at this moment in time. Which is super interesting to me. Why? Why? Why not act? 5 of Pentacles, the 4. You don't have the resources right now. Whatever it is that you're trying not to do. What they don't want you to do is because you don't have the resources for it, I guess. And you're also probably not in the right mind state. You could be in an emotional state, reactionary, depressed, sad. For 5 of Pentacles could be saying that you might be feeling like you have too little to do stuff. It does seem like you've been forced into a victim position, forced into a corner. You may feel like you're not, you may feel like you don't have a lot of choices. And that does talk a lot about this restriction with the Saturn card. And look at this. You must wait before you can do something. Oh, that's so fascinating. Yeah, Saturn is about patience. So you have to wait for something. They want you to wait. What are they waiting for? 10 of Wands. Well, they're waiting for you to kind of like finish up some kind of huge task or huge effort. So like it could be work, it could be, healing, it could be losing weight, it could be some kind of big effort has to be completed for you to move forward on whatever this is. Can I clarify this? Oh, okay. You have to wait for something to kind of come crumbling down first and to change that. So whatever's happening to you, it is karmic, for sure. There's whatever's going on that's bothering you, your guides are trying to tell you that it is karmic. It is going to take some time. You're not going to be able to rush this, so don't bother. It'll just complicate things. It's telling you that this is just something that you got to wait for. You got to wait for something to crumble and change. And then from there, when you're able to unload these wands, then and only then can you move forward. And that's kind of like all you need to know about this right now. It's not totally specific. I know it's very vague, but you're all going to have different situations. This seems like a complex problem. So, if you're like, well, that's not specific to me, you can always get a private reading with me and we can look into it a little bit more. But that's that group 4. If you have any questions, you can post them down in the comments section below. I want to ask you to like, comment, and subscribe if you like my content. If you want a private reading with me, you can get it on Etsy, or you can use the $1.99 for 10-minute deal for Keen, and you can find those both in my description box below. So I want to thank you all for watching. For those who've stuck around, I do appreciate the views. As always, I love that you guys stick around, even if you're not watching. It's nice because these are difficult videos to have 100% watch time because it's a pick a card, so no one's ever going to watch the whole thing really. But if you do, I do appreciate that. So anyway, I want to thank you all for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye now.